For this historic first ever film climb to Britain's highest mountain by the acknowledged finest route, via the high-level Carmore Jarrack Ridge from Achintee in Glen Nevis, we begin here on a midsummer's early morning en route to Fort William, on the western edge of Rannoch Moor, just before the A82 descends into Glencoe, with a view of surrounding hills and especially the classic view west to Stop Jarrack of Buachailitive Moor, the towering mountain that guards the eastern approach to the pass of Glencoe. We then continued down the glen to the Three Sisters, taking in the high Munrosen ridges, including Beecham Nam Beoin and the Oinoch Egoch Ridge, which dramatically confine the glen to the north and south, before making our way past Loch Leven to Loch Eel and Fort William. Having left the tourist trap of Fort William behind and headed south along the minor road to Achintee, we begin the first stage of this marathon trek by taking the obvious tourist path southeast, above Glen Nevis, at first on a gradually rising traverse which crosses a number of streams, before being directed into zigzags to counter the steepening gradient. Views to the Mamors, including Scora Vame and down southwest into Glen Nevis, are particularly fine. The path then turns left or due northeast high above the Redburn, which collects the streams draining from the ben's west face, and from where the first views open up of the old grey giant, still over 3,000 feet up to the east. The path forms one more zigzag to emerge on a wide Bilach, and where we leave the tourist path to head due north by the halfway Lochan, and below the breathtakingly impressive Carn Jarrack, which is the northwest top of Ben Nevis. For 600 metres to the first of two minor tops, and continues south along the ridge to Carmore Jarrack at 1,220 metres. Before taking this route, we decide on a detour along the path southeast, heading up the glen for 2 miles, and beneath the ben's magnificent sets of crags, buttresses and spires, to pass the mountain rescue hut, to climb high up into the boulder-filled Corrie Leash. beyond the first minor top of Carn Bayak Jirak, and from there to head south along the high ridge to Carn Jirak Midhonach, thence down over a short col and up to the Carn Morjerak top. Over to the east, beyond the very deep-cut glen of the Altdayam, rises the long sweeping whale-backed ridge of Oenach Moor. Having reluctantly left the marvellously airy perch of Carn Morjerak, the way ahead is in plain prospect, the traverse of the Carn Morjerak arête, which forms a beautifully symmetrical, if Eventually the arête culminates at a level place, and where a metal abseiling post has been placed to allow a quick escape into Corrie Leash conditions when there is likely to be deep snow on the Corrie head wall. From here, Carn Morjerak assumes a pointed profile, and the pink granite underfoot gets here and is worth tracing, but nevertheless, this final climb will still feel strenuous after all the previous exertions of the day. Special care should also be taken here to maintain secure footing in conditions of snow cover. At long last, the bouldery ground underfoot relents, and if the plateau was just 500 feet higher, it would retain a permanent ice cap. down over bouldery ground and through over 2,000 feet to the halfway Lochan. Then the same amount of weary descent again, back to Glen Nevis, and the completion of arguably the best hill walking expedition to be found within the UK.